Heavy is one of the strongest classes in the game when it comes to pushing or defending an objective, and is almost a must in any serious team comp that's looking to win. With its ability to minimize damage, fortify positions, and now heal the team, the value this class has to bring is incredible. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the best weapons for Heavy as a solo queuer that can single-handedly enhance all those abilities simultaneously and bring versatility to this already strong class. But before we get started, if this video helps you out in some way, shape, or form, please smash that like button. It's a small button for you, but it means the world to me. And also, subscribe for all things the finals. Without further ado, let's jump into it. After playing this game well over 1700 hours now, with the majority of that time spent playing by myself, there are a few things I look for when selecting a weapon, which are forgiveness, consistency, and versatility, making me consider how the weapon will perform at my best and also how it performs on my worst, allowing me to still be somewhat effective for my team even when having a bad day, regardless of the circumstances. So with that being said, the selection is going to be based on the perspective of a solo queuer, because whether you like it or not, when playing this way, the only variables that you can control are your own. So these weapons need to be able to perform with or without the help of outside variables. This means when selecting a weapon or loadout, I have to always prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So the first weapon I'm going to mention is the tried and true Lewis gun. If you have been playing since the beta, you know that this weapon is extremely versatile, and still is even after its nerfs, doing 22 damage to the body and 33 damage to the head, has a 500 RPM, mag size of 47, does 1034 damage per mag with an empty reload at 3.55 seconds, and tactical reload at 3.25 seconds. It has the ability to easily mow down targets at close and far ranges, maintaining full effectiveness up to 35 meters, and has a maximum drop-off range at 40 meters. The Lewis gun emphasizes consistency. This is because of the vertical recoil at the beginning of the mag, and the forgiveness provided by its more than sufficient magazine at 47 bullets. Although the TTK for this weapon will not be as low as some of the weapons I'm going to mention in this video, the feel and accuracy the Lewis gun provides at the beginning of each mag more than compensates for that difference in damage, making it extremely effective in almost any situation it is placed in. Also, on top of that, when the weapon does start to lose that vertical recoil, the player can compensate by utilizing the recoil smoothing mechanic to somewhat straighten the recoil out for more sustained damage while maintaining a good amount of accuracy. Now the next weapon is the M60, providing all the same benefits as the Lewis gun with a faster RPM, but falls a little bit short quite literally when it comes to range, doing 20 damage to the body and 30 damage to the head, has a 580 RPM, mag size of 70, and does 1400 damage per mag, as well as empty and tactical reload times both being at 3.55 seconds. The M60 maintains full effectiveness up to 25 meters and has a maximum fall-off range at 35 meters. Now it does have a shorter time to kill in most instances when compared to the Lewis gun, but it is not significant enough to choose this weapon over the Lewis just solely based on damage. However, damage again is not the only factor that makes a weapon great. The consistency and forgiveness that this weapon provides is, in my honest opinion, better than the Lewis at the moment. Although the Lewis provides accuracy at the beginning of the mag, the M60 becomes more accurate the longer you fire it. And because of its RPM being at 580 compared to the Lewis gun's 500, the duration that needs to be fired in order for this gun to reach that point is quite short, which means you have a longer uptime of controlled recoil with the M60. And if the player stacks recoil smoothing on top of this while just slightly pulling down, this weapon becomes an absolute laser beam, capable of demolishing multiple opponents at close range and absolutely beaming players out of existence at far ranges, because the accuracy and the control it provides after firing for a short period of time will compensate for the majority of damage falloff it may experience. Both the Lewis gun and the M60 are incredible picks for players that are either new to the game or don't have the best mechanical skill, and need a weapon that will provide a good balance of lethality and forgiveness that is capable of taking down multiple opponents in one mag with bullets to spare. This will allow players to put their focus on more important factors such as strategy, positioning, and situational awareness, rather than hard focusing on accuracy to try and make every single bullet count. Now, before we get into the next group of weapons, I have a message from my partners at Apex Gaming PCs. If you're looking to improve your gameplay experience, upgrade from console, and have a more immersive gaming experience, and completely immerse yourself in some of your favorite games, Apex has got you covered with the Streamer Plus. It has an AMD Ryzen 5 7600X and Radeon RX 9070 XT, making it the perfect mid-level PC that will bring your gaming setup to the next level. Designed by the experts at Apex Gaming PCs, this rig is crafted to meet and exceed your expectations. If you're interested, the link's in the bio, as well as pinned in the comments. Also, don't forget to use my discount code HAZED for 3% off your purchase. So without further ado, let's continue with the next two weapons. Alright, so both these weapons fill the criteria of consistency and versatility. However, they do require better than average mechanical skill to really reach their full potential. Because if you miss, or if you don't land enough bullets, it certainly is very punishing due to the weapon's limited magazine size. But if you do land your shots, these weapons are capable of doing devastating damage and are able to obliterate multiple opponents in one mag fairly quickly, allowing the player to spend less time firing out of cover so that they can quickly get back into cover, reload, recalibrate, and then re-engage. The first of these weapons is the Shack 50. Hitting extremely hard with 30 damage per round to the body and 45 damage per round to the head. Firing at 420 RPM with a mag size of 20 duplex rounds and 600 damage per magazine. This weapon can make quick work against any opponent it goes up against, and with the proper use of cover can easily eliminate 1 to 2 opponents on a consistent basis, allowing the player to perform well with or without a great team. The Shack has the second fastest empty mag reload time at 3.20 seconds and third fastest tactical reload time at 2.40 seconds. This is of course compared to the other heavy bullet-based weapons, allowing the player to get back into the action relatively fast. Its damage drop-off minimum range is at 15 meters, and maximum range is at 25 meters. The Shack is unique in that it fires 2 bullets per round spread out horizontally, which is known as a duplex round. So essentially, each bullet within one round does 15 damage. While not having as much effective range as the Lewis or M60, the Shack is capable of doing a decent amount of damage beyond 25 meters because of its very high base damage values. And when you combine it with its nearly vertical recoil pattern, makes it quite easy to consistently land shots at far ranges. The next weapon we're going to talk about, however, is capable of doing a huge amount of burst damage at those far ranges, and at the same time doing a devastating amount of damage at close range. The weapon I'm referring to, of course, is the 50 caliber Akimbo, dealing 44 damage to the body and 88 damage to the head. Fires at 230 RPM, has a mag size of 14, does 616 damage per mag with the shortest empty reload time at 3 seconds and tactical reload time at 2.20 seconds, with a damage drop-off minimum range of 35 and maximum range of 42 meters. Now, while its body damage is not as impressive as the other weapons in Heavy's arsenal, the Akimbo is capable of making quick work of any opponent if the player is able to land at least one headshot. This can significantly shorten the weapon's TTK and will instantly tilt the odds of winning in your favor. I'm telling you guys, it is just that strong. But again, if the player's mechanical skill does not meet the weapon's demand, the 50 caliber Akimbo will be as useless as the sword currently is. So both weapons, the 50 caliber Akimbo and Shack 50, can most certainly provide versatility and consistency, but forgiveness is very reliant on the player's mechanical skill. If the player is able to put in the time to improve their accuracy to an average of around 60% of shots landed in the mag, the benefits both these weapons have to offer will quickly outweigh the risk. And to be transparent, these are currently both my top picks when it comes to using Heavy, as weapons that can not only carry their own weight in almost any situation, but also an entire team. Because as a solo queuer, you have to come to the acceptance that the majority of the time, you're going to have to carry your team. I know that sounds unfair, but that is the cold reality of matchmaking nowadays, and anything outside of that is just a pleasant surprise. So in terms of solo queuing, the Lewis gun and M60 fill the categories of consistency, forgiveness, and versatility, being the safe options that are best for players that are either new to Heavy or not confident with their daily performance. The Shack 50 and 50 caliber Akimbo also filling those prerequisites, but require a better than average level of mechanical skill to fully take advantage of. All four of these weapons, regardless, can synergize with just about any loadout or team comp, because they are capable of performing independently without the need of external variables. Now, if you need help to get better with these weapons, I have a masterclass for the 50 caliber Akimbo, M60, and Shack 50 that will not only give you an in-depth explanation of how to use each weapon, but also provide an in-game training routine that will help improve your mechanical skill with them. Now, some values of these weapons may be out of date due to recent patch changes, however, the mechanics of these weapons still hold true, and the videos are still very much applicable. I have the playlist linked on the top right hand corner of the screen, or if you're watching this on TikTok, click the link to my YouTube in the bio. The video should be located in the masterclass playlist. Now, I know I did not mention the SH-1216, KS-23, or minigun. And it is certainly not because they are weak weapons, because that is far from the truth. It is because although they are strong, they do require outside variables in order to perform. The SH-1216 or minigun needing either a specialization, gadget, or team to allow the player to get into effective ranges, so that they can make every burst count, or provide safety and time so that the player can spin up the minigun, as well as the KS-23 needing a coordinated team so that they are capable of capitalizing on its destruction potential, such as breaching a cache-out location or even stalling one. Because at the end of the day, without teamwork, you're just going to be a slow target with a bigger than average hitbox. These weapons are undoubtedly strong in the right team, but may potentially prevent a solo player from being flexible with their specialization choices, making them base their loadout around the weapon rather than team comp, which is very detrimental as a solo player because you never know what loadouts your teammates are going to choose, and being flexible is key to winning rounds as well as tournaments. Now again, this definitely does not mean these are bad weapons, because the SH-1216 and minigun, for example, are currently still two of the best close range weapons in the game. However, before equipping it, you have to ask the right questions, such as, is my team running with me? Are they healing me? Providing cover for me? Providing some type of vertical or horizontal movement to close gaps? These questions will let you know if it is appropriate to equip them or not. In other words, keep them in your reserve until your random teammates are capable of doing what I just stated. That's all I have for you guys today. I know there are a lot of you expecting particular videos. I promise you they are coming. I'm just a little bit spread thin at the moment, and I'm trying to adjust my schedule so that I can create a consistent workflow. So again, if you guys found this video informative, please smash that like button. It really helps out the channel as well as this video's visibility. And also subscribe for all things the finals. Peace and love, guys, and I'll see you in the arena.